Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
Boy, that's a good-looking shirt you got on there.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Your hair looks nice, too.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate the compliments early in the morning.
Oh, my pleasure. Only just telling it like it is.
Wonder what Drew's wearing. What does Drew wear at 7:30 in the morning?
I got a feeling, just a feeling, that Drew's already got his cowboy boots on and he's ready to go.
I'm guessing.
Because they're busy at Burwell and Broken Bow Livestock Barns. Let's find out. Drew, good morning.
Morning. How are you guys?
We're good. You got your cowboy boots on?
I do.
I figured you did. Got your Wranglers on?
I've got my Wranglers pressed to starch. Got my starch shirt on. I'm ready for the day.
Ooh,
man,
wow.
You're ready to work with those ranchers and farmers out there moving cattle. What's going on?
Not much. Last week we had 2 big days. We had a bred cow and heifer sale in Broken Bow and had a feeder sale in Burwell. I'll give you a rundown of kind of how we operated. In the butcher cow division, in the high-yielding cows, we were 78 to 87 and a half. In the middle cut of those cows, we were 65 to 77 and a half. Poorer cows were 60 to 64. Heiferettes were 87 to $1.05, and the bulls were 84 up to $1.06. The bred heifer division, bred heifers had a lighter test on those due to the weather, but what we did have were awful good for quality, and we ran those bred heifers, and these are the bull breds and the AIs together, but we ran those bred heifers anywhere from $1,500 up to $1,800. The young cow division, we were 14 and a quarter to 1875. And in the solid mouth division, we were $1,300 up to $1,500. And in the broken mouth cows, we were $1,085 up to $1,100. Back on Friday, had a big day in Burwell. Had a feeder calf sale. A lot of quality there. Called that demand strong. Called that calf and feeder market anywhere from 5 to 10 higher in spots. Give you a real rundown on how we got along there. In the steer division, we had some 530-pound steers at 221. Had some 499-pound steers at 228. Had some 728-pound steers at $1.99 and a quarter. Had some 675-pound steers at 220, and had some 808-pound steers at $1.87 and a quarter. In the heifer division, we had heifers, 608-pound heifers at $1.95. Had some 687-pound heifers at $1.93. Had some 535-pound heifers at $2, and had some 557-pound heifers at $2.16. And that's kind of how we operated there. This week, got 2 big days back again. Got a calf and feeder sale in Broken Bow and a calf and feeder sale in Burwell. Looking at about 2,000 head in Broken Bow on Thursday and 1,800 head on Friday. If you've got any questions, give us a call, 308-872-1105. Go on the website. Next week, we're going to have 2 big days of bred cows. We're going to have a bred cow and heifer sale on Broken Bow's sale on Thursday, and that's going to be awful nice set of cattle coming in on that sale. We've got a big dispersion there, and also have a really nice set of bred heifers that have been trying to get here for over a month, and they're finally going to be here. Looks like the weather is going to work for that. And those are off a nice set there. And then in Burwell on Friday, got a really nice cow sale, bred cow and heifer sale. Got a lot of dispersions on that sale, a lot of quality and a lot of depth, and a lot of good heifers on that sale too. Like I said, got any questions, give us a call, 308-872-1105. Give Justin French a call at Broken Bow. Give Jake Gideon a call over Burwell.
All right, Drew. Thanks a lot. Sounds like you're busy. Good things going on. We appreciate the report.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was quite a game last night. I mean, didn't turn into much. It was kind of a blowout.
Kind of remind me, Drew, of a game I remember back in, I think it was the mid-'90s when a big game was to be played. It was for the national championship, and there was one specific team that just blew out the other.
Right.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised, though. I thought it would be a lot like the last presidential election. I thought I'd, wake up this morning and they mysteriously found a bunch of scores there at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You never cease to amaze me, Drew.
All right. Well, you guys have a good rest of the day.
See you, Drew.
All right, Drew Gaffney with Burwell Broken Bow Livestock. We always enjoy having him on the air and always enjoy hearing about all the cattle that are being moved through the barns. So healthy for our area to have these two strong barns serving the area. Appreciate it. School lunch menus at Ansley today. They're having walking tacos.
Litchfield today showing Stromboli on the menu today.
Sandhills Dunning, it's loaded nachos with toppings and dessert.
All right, same thing in Callaway. Loaded nachos today at Callaway School.
At Broken Bow Middle School, High School today, chicken pot pie, baked pork fritter with dinner roll, fresh baked turkey and cheese subs. Grill station includes the crispy chicken sandwich basket. The vegetables include mashed potatoes with chicken gravy and fruit, vegetables, and milk at the Broken Bow Middle School, High School today.
And Selma Myrna today, some of their choices include chicken pot pie, baked pork fritter with biscuit, and a fresh baked turkey and cheese sub at Selma Myrna.
And at the Prairie Pioneer Center today, chicken gravy over biscuits, broccoli, and pears sounds delicious. If you'd like to enjoy a meal with them, call them at 872-6121 this morning. Let them know you'd like to come and have something good to eat and have some good company at the Prairie Pioneer Center here in Broken Bow.
At Thetford today, showing chili, Fritos, and brownies on the lunch menu at Thetford School.
All right, a couple things here this morning we wanted to pass along. There is an event coming up on Sunday, January 15th, put on through the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints at 1108 South First Avenue in Broken Bow. And this is centered around our veterans and families. Join them for an hour devoted to learning more about the family and community members who have served, who also are serving in the military. And a community guest speaker will be there. A veteran panel and family history discussion will be held to help the veterans find their ancestors, help them find and read military records and learn how to read stories and memories on a family search. So it's all about finding your veteran ancestors. That's on Sunday, the 15th at 2 p.m. at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Also, I want to remind you again that it's underway. The Lower Loop NRD has their 2023 photo contest underway. Photographers may submit high-resolution files from cameras or smartphones to A. Bartels, that's ABARTELS, at llnrd.org by midnight this spring on May 15th. So you have lots of time to take some pictures and send them in. Nearly 600 images were entered in the inaugural contest last year, and Gary Missick of Elyria placed first with his image of a farm at sunset. And so if you have any questions, get a hold of Alan Bartels at 308-728-3221. And you can also email him at abartels@llnrd.org and go to the Natural Resources website if you need more information on that. But that's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great photographs of the area. And you can take them on your camera, take them on your smartphone. You just can't use your old Instamatic with film. It doesn't work. Now,
yes,
play the game, and it's Tumbleweed Day today.
All right.
Oh, that reminds us that we'll be having breakfast at the Tumbleweed coming in the near future in conjunction with the Blake Shelton contest, which Brent Apperson is a main ingredient. Not only does he look good, his voice is in prime form to sing along with you to get you entered for 2 tickets on the floor in the second row of the Blake Shelton concert on February 16th. What a late Valentine's present that would be. And also a $250 gift card to use as you please. And we're going to have 42 finalists. And then we're going to get together at the Tumbleweed on February 1st and have breakfast and a drawing and have a winner. It's going to be broadcast live on The Breakfast Show. In the meantime, 42 different times we're going to have people qualify by singing Blake Shelton songs with Brent Apperson. And we'll be practicing.
42 times.
42 finalists, that's right.
Okay, 42 times we're going to be singing.
Starts tomorrow. You want to call in and choose one of the 3 songs that we have lined up and ready to go. Just a short clip that you'll sing along with Brent with. That will get you registered. And then you'll be able to come to the breakfast at the Tumbleweed and the drawing. And you might just be going to see Blake Shelton watching from the second row on the floor.
Yeah.
So be listening. It starts tomorrow. And I'm going to ask Brent to do a little more practicing today. If we have time, we have a lot of guests coming in. So we'll see if we can get a practice session in today.
All right, here's your question for the game this morning. Our final question about hobbies, because January is National Hobby Month. Some people collect toys as hobbies, and Hasbro came out with a line of toys that has become very popular and a lot of people have collected. They are, I almost gave you the answer. Whoops. It was a 2007 movie. It was also a big cartoon series back in the day. What Hasbro toys have Autobots on the side of good and the Decepticons as the bad guys? This line of toys is what? Type and Speak, T-Birds, Tinker Toys, or Transformers? If you know, call us at 872-2801. There are plenty of reasons why so many folks choose the Tumbleweed Cafe for gathering and eating. For one, it's a friendly, fun place where everyone makes you feel right at home. It's spacious and comfortable with your choice of table, counter, or booth. Most important, of course, is the variety and unfailing quality of their excellent home-cooked menu. There's nothing like proving these things for yourself. Next time you plan to dine out, visit the Tumbleweed Cafe, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
7:43, we have a caller on the line. I didn't get a chance to find out who the caller is, so we're going to find out right now. Good morning. Who are we talking to?
Zane.
I'm sorry?
Zane.
Zane, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Here's your question, Zane.
Okay, Zane, what collection of Hasbro toys had the Autobots as the good guys and the Decepticons as the bad guys? Type and Speak. Go ahead.
Transformers.
Oh, of course it was. Transformers. There you go. All right, because you've answered correctly, we're going to put your name on a certificate that'll get you a free Tumbleweed meal at the Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow. So you just come on out and see us whenever you can and pick up your certificate, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. 7:44. And yes, they'll enjoy a Tumbleweed meal at the Tumbleweed Cafe, just as you can do. The Tumbleweed Cafe opens 7 days a week, and breakfast anytime. And you can have one of those delicious omelets, eggs over easy with some bacon. Early in the day, at least through mid-morning, you can have pancakes and waffles and all those sorts of things. You can go in for their dinner specials at noon. They have pie, ice cream. They'll even put some chocolate on it for you. And they'll just take care of you at the Tumbleweed. And if you're looking for a part-time job, they could sure use some help out at the Tumbleweed. And if you're a person who is a good cook, I think Carmen would love to talk to you about training to do some cooking at the Tumbleweed as well. Just stop in and ask for Carmen. If she isn't there, she'll give you a call back. Tumbleweed Cafe, Broken Bow, where we're having breakfast on February 1st. So don't delay. When Brent is available to sing with you, call in. We'll let you know tomorrow 3 different times when those times are. And he really likes the Sangria song the best, so I'm just giving you a hint. That's the one maybe you want to ask for the most, but that's just a little hint. We have a guest list beyond belief today. We have a lot of things going on this morning. Check that one off. I would like to ask you, if you wouldn't mind, since we're good friends and neighbors and co-hosts and brothers and son all in one.
Okay.
And, of course, share mom. I wonder, I can't put that thank you card down, Peg. It's such a nice card. Thanks for sending that. Sweet of you. Would you highlight the wonderful delights that are at Brew Baker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold, Nebraska? Now, it's right downtown in a historic building that has been marked as an historic site here in Nebraska, and they have wonderful coffees and pastries and so forth that are making history themselves.
Yes, you just pretty well described it. Brubaker's Coffee House and Gifts, you'll find it in Arnold, Nebraska. Warm up with hot teas, herbal teas, and coffee drinks. Delicious baked goods. It's a full barista bar and fabulous gifts, too, in their gift department. Follow them on Facebook to keep up on all the latest happenings at Brubaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold. Coffee with a friend, always a good idea. And there's no better place to have coffee with a friend than at Brubaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold, Nebraska. Open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 5. Open on Saturday from 9 to 3.
I got to tell you, that shirt is sharp. And have you been working out? I mean, you look like you're a little more buff than I thought you were 6 weeks ago or so. No answer?
No, I just do what I've always done.
Which is?
Nothing. That's it. I'm a radio announcer. What do you think? I just sit here and do nothing.
I thought you were working out the way. I don't know, maybe it's just that shirt highlights your muscular physique.
Well, I mean, listen, when you're me, you make every shirt look good.
Yeah, and I have to say, I feel bad because we got the yellow snow T-shirts that we're going to be giving away, and we don't have one in your size.
Go ahead and say it.
No,
say it.
I wish we had one.
No, just say it. You say you don't have one in my size. Go ahead and finish the statement.
Well,
just say it.
Let me ask you a question.
We don't have a small one.
No,
just say it.
I would think
that's what you meant.
I would think you'd be at least a medium.
Actually, I am a medium.
Okay, well, I don't have any mediums. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I got XL and XXLs, mostly XLs. Now, if you put it in the washer and shrink it down a little bit, it might fit.
You think so? I doubt it. You look like a nightshirt on me.
Now, don't be knocking yourself down, especially looking like you look today.
Oh, well, thank you, Dave.
You betcha.
There's a difference between treating the pain and treating the problem. At Pearson Physical Therapy, we strive to not only reduce your pain, but actually treat the underlying cause so that you remain pain-free, even after you finish physical therapy. If you're frustrated by pain that keeps coming back, Pearson Physical Therapy can give you the tools that will keep you moving pain-free. Call Pearson's in Broken Bow at 308-872-5800 or check us out on the web at pearsonpt.com. Get the treatment you need and the care you deserve at Pearson Physical Therapy.
Dave and Brent.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
On KCNI KBBN Radio.
7:49. If you're celebrating a birthday today, you are celebrating with Rod Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary Hall of Fame singer-songwriter, was a member of the Jeff Beck Group and Faces before breaking out on his solo career. And he had one called, I think it was called Gasoline Alley in the late 70s. Was really some of his best work. And then later on, he kind of got into the more of the pop scene and was very popular with the ladies.
Yes.
I had a niece that was just mad about him.
Yeah.
He's 78 years old today.
Wow.
One of the best-selling artists of all time. Also, Donald Fagen is 75 today, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and co-founder of the Steely Dan Group. Pat Benatar celebrating her birthday today. She is 70. And she was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with her husband.
Nice.
And they kind of had some tiffs back and forth with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for many years and finally got that solved.
Well, good.
Chris Smith
Yeah, we're going to be talking to him later today.
Well,
Really? Is he celebrating a birthday today?
He's also a
That's cool.
rapper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
four-
wow. I didn't know he led a double life.
Yes. He is one half of the hip-hop duo Crisscross.
Oh, really?
He's age 44 today.
Okay. Oh, man, I remember Crisscross.
George Foreman,
Yeah.
boxing champion, two-time world heavyweight boxing champion. And he has sold over 100 million George Foreman grills as
I was
well.
just going to say.
He is 74 today.
All right. Hi. Easy now.
Logan just got a little check on Brent's biceps on his way by.
Yeah,
How you doing, Logan?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. How's things at Arrow, Seed, and Broken Bow?
They're good. We had a good weekend. We had a party in Kearney this weekend, just an employee Christmas party.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
That's
it's fun.
A little fun.
Yep, went out to eat, tried some new things.
What'd you try?
I actually had the roast pelican.
Pelican. I've never had pelican.
It's pretty good, but the bill is enormous.
I had a feeling that's where you were going to go with that. That's good. A new year,
Another new.
but
The
yet,
same old
but
joke.
yes, sometimes things change, but sometimes things stay the same.
Yeah.
So
But we did get a lot of snow
we
since
did.
last time I was here.
Mhm.
So that's good. I got a new pair of snow goggles.
For
Snow goggles.
Like, well, yeah, like
Yeah.
ski goggles.
ski goggles, snow goggles, because it's super bright.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was shoveling snow on Tuesday last week when
Yeah.
I couldn't make it
Right.
here
Yeah.
because the weather was so bad.
Mhm.
And I put them on, and all I could see was people riding horses in suits of armor and chainmail.
Wow.
I looked at the box on those goggles. They were night vision goggles.
Ah, of course. Yes. I bet the bill for those was pretty high as well.
It was.
Yeah.
So did you get resupplied with the salt?
Not the pet friendly.
Not the pet friendly, okay, because my
No.
wife was asking me about that.
I haven't seen the pet friendly yet. We got just the regular
Okay.
stuff in, which it'll still
Oh, yeah.
work. You know, it's gonna be a little bit more coarse, a little bit rougher on the paws, but
Bigger,
it'll s-
bigger rocks in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll still work.
Okay.
Melts the ice good.
Yep.
Which, boy, oh, boy, that stuff really come in handy because, we're still taking shovels out and chipping ice.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. And the salt actually gets things started so you can do that.
Yep. The salt usually it'll melt through and kind of create a
Yeah.
pocket, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, you can get a shovel or a scraper underneath.
Yeah, it's an ongoing job for everybody, isn't it?
It is.
Wow.
It is.
Some thick ice. So thankful with that kind of thickness that we didn't have as many power outages as we could have.
Yeah, I mean, we were only out of power for a couple hours,
Yeah.
which was lucky.
Kind of romantic, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah.
Except
Light some
two little
candles.
kids running around and trying to figure out what to do without Paw Patrol.
Ah, yes.
There you go. A dilemma.
Yeah, it was. But we got through it.
Good deal. Good deal. So we did talk with Jim on the phone last week, and he was talking about booking some things and saving some money. You want to kind of highlight that?
Yeah, so today is going to be the last day for prepay on summer annual forages. So that'd be your cane, millet, sorghum, sudan, Milo, that type of stuff. If you prepay for it today, 10% discount.
Do it today.
So that's a pretty good chunk.
Mm-hmm.
If I could save 10% for paying for something up front that I'm not going to need for quite a while, why wouldn't you?
Right, right.
If you don't want to prepay for it, you just need to get your name on some. You have till February 10th, and you still get a 5% discount.
Okay. All right.
So
That's worthwhile as well.
that helps the bottom line quite a bit when everything settles out.
So if you want to save the 10%, today's the last day.
Yep.
And then you can save 5% until
Until February 10th,
February
another
10th.
month.
Another month.
Yep.
Exactly another month today.
Yep. So it's one of those things that if, like I said, if you know it's something you're going to need and you don't want to prepay for it, just call me and say, hey, this is what I need. And guess what? 5% discount.
All right. Okay. Okay, so I was going down the road the other day and realizing that for the first time in a while, we have cattle digging and snorting through snow to get to the corn stalks and so forth. May have to move them around a little bit.
Yeah, and this snow, this ice and snow, it's going to make those feed supplies go away in a hurry,
Yeah.
which it's going to get kind of ugly, I feel like, for a while.
Unfortunately, there is that concern of shortage. I think everybody's had that for a while, and this, like you say, this ice and snow sped things up a little bit.
Yes, so if you've got some acres that, might not be the best row crop acres, might not be a bad idea to get a forage of some sort in there. There's a market for it, even if you yourself don't have cattle. There's a way to make it cash flow.
Okay, all right, and they can talk to you about it and kind of make a plan.
Yep, exactly.
Right. Okay, now you have a sheet there of information. What's that all about?
I do. So this is our soil health conference. We put one on. We try to put one on every year. This year it will be in February. It'll be February 15th.
All right.
Which is Wednesday. So just over a month from today, out at the One Box Convention Center, and we're gonna have, I guess, a lot of speakers that have to do with healthier soil, healthier plants, healthier operation. New year, new me, new year, new soil. Why not?
Why not?
So, we've got like I said, a good lineup. Probably I'd say the best one is Steve Kenyon. I'm trying to think how to say it. He's a very good steward of the land.
Right.
And people think that we grow plants from the soil, but he'll talk about growing the soil from plants. So that'll be a good one to listen to. But there's four other speakers that'll have various insights. You might pick something up that'll benefit your operation.
Yeah. He's the headliner, but there's other experts there. And,
yep.
Well, I think people are more willing to listen to this method than they were years ago, because
right.
we understand that the soil is it's not something that can just keep giving without giving something back, right?
Exactly. Yep. And you yourself are a perfect example of a newly converted cover cropper.
I am, and I look out and I see the rye poking through the snow and holding the ground together and taking in that moisture and holding it there. And that's just a small little teeny plot, but an example of, I'm excited about planting right into that next year.
Yep. You're not going to till it, are you?
Nope.
Okay,
I'm
good.
going to just go right into it. I might have to mow it off a little bit.
Yeah, if you mow it down, just leave the clippings there, then you have a green manure of sorts.
Yeah. And I think more and more people are understanding you can build the soil, you can help it, and maybe reduce some of the chemicals that we have to use, right?
Exactly. What I've found in my garden, and I've said this numerous times, if I do a cover crop and have something growing there, when I plant my garden veggies, then my weed control is phenomenal. I don't have to water near as much, and I get an excellent crop.
Yeah, it's really going full circle. And if you're planting those kind of crops near a creek or water, it's also a filter.
Exactly.
So which is making for cleaner water.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you don't grow something there, Mother Nature's going to, and it's not going to be what you want.
Yeah.
At all.
And Mother Nature's weeds are, they're like coyotes. They survive, right?
And this being Nebraska, it's going to be windy. So, most people think of erosion as water. wind does a heck of a lot more than water, and we get wind a lot more frequently than we do water.
And when we see that dust in the air, we know what's happening. Not only is it not very much fun to breathe if you have allergies, it's also losing the topsoil.
Exactly.
You've taught us well, Logan.
Well, thank you. It makes me happy that you've listened.
And we won't send you, we won't expect that you'll send us a big bill for that.
I'll try not to. The one thing that you should, look out for right now, especially with all these snow drifts on the side of the roads, as you're driving down the road, look at the color of the snow, and you'll see some that's just black. And chances are, on the north side of that, because we got prevailing north winds right now, it's going to be a bare field. So if you have a bare field, you're giving all your soil to the neighbors or to the road ditch.
Yeah. Good news is this snow cover actually, it feels good to look out and see fields covered with snow and grass covered with snow. It's kind of what we didn't have last year. And I don't know that anybody would complain too much if we had a couple more layers before spring to help cover that ground and keep it moist. And
you said it best with your garden. You can see that rye poking up through the snow. It might not be very tall, but it's gonna catch the snow. It's gonna make that moisture go down and stay there,
not run away.
Exactly.
All right. So you've got me convinced. I'm good. And I like having a little rye crop in the yard. It makes me happy.
Well, good. It makes me happy too.
All right. Everything go on the seminar that you're putting on. What's the dates on that again?
So that's February 15th, and it's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
If you need to sign up for it, you can give us a call. You can just stop in and sign up for it, or you can go to arrowseed.com.
Okay.
And we've got the sign up link right there.
All right.
So I would encourage everybody to take a look at that and sign up for it, because it's going to be a great slew of speakers, but it's going to be really relevant, especially to that kind of regenerative ag.
Okay. Thank you, Logan.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. And what did you think of Brent's bicep when you went by? You gave it a little...
I don't know how I made it through the door, to be honest with you. He looks like a strong man this morning.
He does. It's just that shirt, I think, just highlights the...
Well, I don't think it matters what shirt he wears.
Oh.
I make every shirt look good.
Yeah, exactly.
News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. New series of deadly storms is pounding the West Coast. CBS's Carter Evans.
We're seeing a break in the rain right now in this Santa Cruz area, but this neighborhood is just inundated with floodwater. Over the last couple of weeks, California's seen quadruple its normal rainfall.
About 90% of people in the state are under flood watches. CBS News first reported the Justice Department's investigating about 10 documents marked classified found inside an office used by Joe Biden before he was president. Republican Jim Jordan.
One set of rules for President Trump. He literally raided his home 91 days before the midterm election. Different standard it seems with President Biden.
So much for the first ever attempt to launch satellites into space from the UK. CBS's Vicky Barker is in London.
A rocket carrying 9 satellites malfunctioned before it could reach full orbit altitude.
Just absolutely devastated.
Alyssa Thorpe, head of Spaceport UK.
I think it'll just be a few days of just kind of letting it sink in a little bit.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Now here's a look at Nebraska news. 2 persons caught allegedly attempting to take property from a vacant manufacturing plant in Beatrice were sentenced last week. 36-year-old Brandon Tomes of Lincoln was sentenced to a 3-year probation term for convictions of second-degree criminal trespass and possession of a controlled substance. 39-year-old Julie Rogers of Lincoln was sentenced to a 2-year probation term for second-degree trespass and obstructing a peace officer. Tomes and Rogers had previously faced felony burglary and possession of burglar tools counts. Rogers and Tomes were co-defendants in a case involving attempts to steal property from inside the long-vacant Dempster manufacturing plant in South Beatrice, which has been condemned. Periodically, police have found people trespassing on the property. A hole had been cut in the fence at the rear of the property to gain access. And that's a look at Nebraska news.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, Here's Eddie Garcia.
In the college football playoff national title game, it was all Georgia as the Bulldogs crushed TCU. Georgia was up 17-7 after the first quarter, 38-7 at the half, 52-7 after three quarters, and then posted a 65-7 victory. 58-point win is the largest margin of victory ever in a bowl game. Stetson Bennett was the MVP for the Bulldogs with 6 touchdowns, 4 passing, 2 rushing. Georgia wins back-to-back national championships in football, and they finish this season 15-0. News from the NFL, where the Arizona Cardinals fired their head coach Cliff Kingsbury. GM Steve Keim also stepped down. The Miami Dolphins announced that quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has not been cleared for football activities. He's still in the concussion protocol. Running back Raheem Mostert broke his thumb in Sunday's win over the Jets. He's scheduled to have surgery on Monday. Status for Sunday's game against the Bills is unknown. LA Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams suffered a back contusion Sunday. It is optimistic he'll play Sunday against Jacksonville.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, partly sunny skies with highs in the lower 40s. Tonight, mostly clear in the evening, becoming partly cloudy later in the night, lows in the lower 20s. Going into the day on Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies with a chance of rain and snow starting in the afternoon. A little accumulation is expected, highs in the mid-30s. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy skies with a chance of snow early, low temperatures in the lower 20s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Patrick McMillan.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining Medi-Share right now. Medi-Share is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly health care costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with health care costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medi-Share can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And Medi-Share is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 29 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
807, 18 degrees outside. We'll call it partly cloudy with a very, very light north breeze. Barometric pressure is falling, currently at 2982, humidity at 93%. High yesterday, 45, with an overnight low of 17. Sunset today at 5:27, sunrise tomorrow morning at 8:04. We have recorded 9,300 precipitation so far this month. 8:08. Breakfast Show continues with our next guest. I would love to hear these two guys talk about whatever they want to talk about. Brent, would you introduce our next guest?
Okay. Jeff Denson is here. Hi.
Good morning.
Representing,
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Representing Team Physical Therapy.
Yes.
What would you like to talk about?
I don't know. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Well, I have
Okay.
some stuff.
Well, we were talking wrestling. You want to start there?
Yeah, I'd love to start there. Yeah, we're looking forward to a fast and furious finish to the wrestling season, it looks like. So,
Yeah. Of course, you guys work with a lot of our area youth and athletes and such, and they went through that period where you have the holiday break. Did everybody, I know sometimes when you go through that 4 or 5 day or whatever it is moratorium, obviously you take a little break from your conditioning.
Yeah.
And then you got to get back into it. Any issues with kids trying to get back into it, or?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing for most kids that have just tendonitis things going on. Like we had some kids with shin splints in basketball that gives them time to heal them up before we start the big push for January and February. So over the most part, I mean, coaches usually, the next few practices generally after that break are not very much fun. You'll get right back into shape pretty quick. So, but it does allow a little bit of time to heal up some injuries that are just going to be nagging for the season, and I think that was very effective. So, we saw that with our Broken Bow teams. Locally.
I'm guessing that with what you guys do through physical therapy, knowing when to rest, knowing when to work. That's a lot of what you do, isn't it? I mean, because rest really can have a big factor in the healing process. But knowing the right amount, I'm guessing, kind of, can be a fine line to figure out sometimes, can it?
It is, yeah. So we even locally had just a couple ligament injuries, like an elbow that if you return them back too quick, you're going to re-injure them. So hopefully getting a good test and referring those patients on when they need to be referred on to a specialist is hopefully what we do well. We hope we do that well. And just making sure we get a good diagnosis of grade 1, 2, or 3 sprain of ligaments and how much time. That's just naturally it takes a certain amount of time to heal each one. You can have a 10-day injury that you can tape and go with, and like for ankle sprains, sometimes they need 10 days rest just to get swelling out, and then they'll return back stronger if you give them a little bit of a break. If they're a grade 2 sprain, and that generally means that it swells up and bleeds, and you've done some vascular damage to the tissue. They need time for that to heal, so that'll be 21 days before they're back generally. And then big injuries need 6 weeks. It just takes that long. So.
And we kind of talk about athletes, but I mean that's for anybody.
That's for everybody.
Yep.
That's
so
how it works.
I mean, our friends and neighbors out there working with the cattle and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty easy to twist an ankle or something when you're out, especially in these conditions.
In these conditions, exactly.
Tromp around in it.
Yeah, it's not been a very much fun. We had that ice before this one that we saw a lot of falls with, and then. Obviously, this is just continuing on a daily basis. You have to be careful, or you can really hurt yourself out there. So just take your time and get around slow and clean it up as best as possible.
Yeah. Whether there's ice or not, I know that balance, you guys do a lot of things with people, especially as they get older in age. Sometimes you struggle with balance a little bit, and I think you guys do some things that can help with balance, right?
Yeah, we use for our elderly population, those that just aren't getting around or needing assisted device to get around, we can help tell you when you might need an assisted device for a while, give you things to work on at home that will challenge your balance a little bit and improve that. And so we use a Berg balance scale, which I've put you through here once before.
Yes, you did.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's very effective at telling us how to make somebody safer and less risk at falls. So, and then we kind of tailor our exercise program / rehab to that test. So, which is very effective.
Yeah. Surgeries and things, I know that you guys do a lot of things with, the knee replacements and things like that. Are we kind of back into the flow of things on that? Or
we had a very busy late fall with total knee replacements and a really busy start to the year coming forward. They're scheduled all the way through mid-March already.
Wow.
So they're gonna do a lot of total knee replacements here at the hospital, or a lot for our hospital. And the results that we're getting, obviously, are just phenomenal. So Dr. Sextra does a great job. The whole team up there does a great job. And then they progress into post-surgical rehab or post-hospitalization rehab, and they're getting better as fast as anybody we see in Kearney, Grand Island, Lincoln, anywhere. So probably even faster.
Yeah.
So, the amount of swelling that when you push too hard in the first 10 days, you're going to really swell a knee up. And I think our team is all just kind of, nursing's been trained, and our therapists and everybody, about how fast we want to progress somebody to prevent that post-surgical swelling. And the results improve significantly if you can stop that swelling. So, so it's been really effective. And would really, if you're looking at a total knee replacement, I don't think you can find a better spot to have one. So I would suggest looking here first.
Yeah, sounds good.
Jeff, sorry to interrupt, but I know the shoulders are they're not done here, or are they?
No.
But the therapy afterwards.
They have done some scopes of shoulders. Cleanup type things here. Do carpal tunnels and other trigger finger things are done here. But no, most of those are taken onto Grand Island.
Yeah,
if they're done by Dr. Sextra's group.
But then the therapy, of course, is
comes right back
available here.
Yep, absolutely
for that. And hips as well.
Yep, hips are done outside. Yep, we aren't doing any of those here. And I think it's just having all the prostheses available that you might need for that portion of things.
Well, with the great people you mentioned, it would be great if they could do some of those, but still to have you guys here when the surgery's over to rehab. And can you talk a little bit about preparing for those kinds of surgeries? I know that you guys really recommend building that strength up before.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of the time you'll have an appointment to see Dr. Sextro. At that point, you'll schedule your surgery. Usually it'll be 6 or so weeks before they'll do the replacement, just making sure that we give you time for you need to have a family practitioner or your local doctor look at you, make sure you're cardiovascularly ready for that. And then you'll do basically a joint camp at our hospital where you'll see occupational therapy, physical therapy, anesthesiology, and nursing, and they'll just explain the procedure to you, what their role is going to be. We like to look at your range of motion and give you ideas about how to improve that over the next 4 to 6 weeks, give you some exercises to get it stronger. And those that go into a total knee replacement with as close as they can to full knee extension usually do a lot better. So we like to make sure that they get that motion back, give them some stuff at home it isn't very much fun because it's stretching on a joint that isn't good.
Yeah.
But it needs to be done. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to have to do it afterwards, and that's really no fun.
Yeah, longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's a great setup. It really
yeah,
is.
It's been just phenomenal results. So
I did want to note that Brent kind of glanced at me when he said some of the older people with balance problems, and I do take offense to that. I did want to log that in this conversation.
Noted, I would think. We'll give him the balance test next time and just see if you're right or not.
I'm with you. Let's give him the balance test. I love that idea.
Maybe he should prove it.
Exactly.
Oh, that backfired on me.
That's good. Thank you, Denson, for that. Hey, I think it was it just last year, 2022, you kind of started working with home health?
Yeah.
Is that right? How has that been going?
So we today have our first patient in Burwell, Nebraska. So the home health agency, they've been covering Custer County and a little bit outside of the county south for Angel Care Home Health. And then they just expanded to Garfield County and Valley County. So we'll be taking care of those patients over there now out of our Burwell office, most likely, depending on if they're too busy or not. But so that's a service that hasn't been done in Garfield County, to my knowledge, very well for 20 years. So it's been a really good addition, having them expand their services to that area.
Good.
So be able to offer that service in Garfield County is awesome. So,
anything else on your notes that we haven't touched on yet?
Basically, I think we're staffed well enough at our Broken Bow office that if you need an appointment, we'll get you in as fast as possible. Walk-ins are welcome. So we have staff that are ready and ready for service. So we're excited about that.
Good.
And just for folks out there who haven't maybe heard you guys talking here on the radio, you have Burwell, Broken Bow, is it
Callaway,
Gothenburg, and Kearney.
Yep.
Wow. See, every time you say that, it just blows my mind. Because it's
me a little bit too.
I bet. Keeping up with it probably blows your mind.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. We have great people that work at those that have been with us for a long time.
Yeah.
They're taking care of their stuff. It makes it very easy on the rest of us. So they're running those facilities, and I call and check in every once in a while to see if they need anything, and that's about all.
That's why you call it team physical therapy.
That's right. Yeah. It's a great crew.
It's a team. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.
I'm surprised you guys didn't talk baseball, but maybe another time.
Yeah, soon.
You got the schedule set?
Schedule's done.
That's sweet. Yeah. I figured you had it done.
No surprise there either. Jeff Denson, our guest here on The Breakfast Show on this Tuesday. We'll take a break.
And action! It's Dave and Brent getting the action started on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
There are many good reasons to pre-select your family memorial. During the months of January and February, Palmer Monument Company is giving you one more good reason: their annual winter sale. Come and see them today with the coupon from the newspaper and receive additional savings off their already reduced prices.
Hi, this is Chris Smith with the Palmer Monument Company. It's our goal to assist you in selecting the memorial that best fits your family needs. And with our sale, we'll save you money too.
During the annual winter sale at Palmer Monument Company in Lexington and Broken Bow.
More good times are coming to the Breakfast Show, and someone will come away a winner. Starting January 11th, we'll take 3 calls a day to register for 2 second-row floor tickets for the Blake Shelton concert in Lincoln.
Hey, y'all, this is Blake Shelton. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
The winner will also get a $250 gift card to spend as they please. Keep listening to KCNI KBBN and get ready to play a fun game starting January 11th on The Breakfast Show.
When I die, I want to come back as a country boy. No, there ain't no better life if you ask me.
Win Blake Shelton tickets on The Breakfast Show starting January 11th.
Save on fashion boots, bear paws, and snow boots and enjoy them right now in the cold months. Comfort, style, warmth, heels or flats, black, brown, tan, or green. No matter what boot you're looking for, we want to help you find it. 25% off fashion boots, bear paws, and snow boots this week at Bow Bootery on the Square.
It's 8:31. You're dialed in to The Breakfast Show. We always appreciate that. We do have a listener this morning. Jonathan Crouch says, good morning from wet and rainy California. Always love keeping up on my hometown happenings and news via the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. So thank you very much, Jonathan. Thanks for listening and or watching. If you are watching and listening, you will be excited to know that we have a rapper in the studio this
Celebrating
morning.
a birthday today, I heard. Chris Smith.
Yep. I remember Chris Cross. I think it was Chris Smith and Chris Kelly were the two rappers'
Was
names.
it? Yeah, I
And
couldn't
of course,
remember the
there was
other
a
one.
Chris Kelly that was in high school about the same time that I was
Really?
too. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I think he was a year behind me or something like that.
But
so
you guys weren't crisscross.
we were not crisscross.
Okay.
So,
I
no.
thought maybe you lived a double life.
No, I think there were some questions whether to and you know, Chris and I are both built about the same. So he was a little more fit than I was, more athletic, but we we weren't gonna make any rappers and jumping around or any type of coordination happen.
So there will be no hip-hopping here this morning.
No.
Okay.
No, we can bounce in the chair a little bit, maybe
Yeah,
something
there you
like
go.
that. So
Well, we better talk about Palmer Monument then, if I can get that out this morning.
yeah, so we're in that time of year where we're rolling into our annual winter sale. So we've kicked that off here at all of our locations across Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado. So folks are starting to come in and call on that and see us. And, of course, with that, we always try to have sales and things like that going on in our displays. But most all of our stones are at least 10% off. And then we also work with some great manufacturers who allow us to have kind of a coupon that we can get back on a rebate. So basically when you purchase from us, then we turn around and repurchase and use that rebate. And so a person can save, another $75, $125 or $175, just kind of depending on the level of their purchase.
All right, and this is something you've been doing for a number of years, because not only saving the money, and we all want to save some money, but it's just a reminder, I think, as well, to get started and do this, right?
Yep, and that's exactly why we have it. So we try to do it a couple times a year just because as memorializations kind of evolved, it used to be that, you just kind of waited till mom or dad died and then you went and bought a monument and everybody sat around and looked at each other and what do? And you just kind of point at one and pick one, or you go out and say, hey, I want to match what grandma did, and which probably matched somebody else and did that. And, people started the memorial business, and really through the funeral homes, they started pushing that pre-plan, figure things out ahead of time, have those conversations with your family, figure out what you want. And then that overflowed into our industry and the monuments. And so, I want to say probably in the late 80s, early 90s, then our company started having that, a pre-need sale is what we call it, so you don't need it yet. So, and promoting that in the winter, and then again in June, and so that's allowed families to come in, and of course that's changed memorializations greatly, because you get people that go, well, I didn't want what grandma wanted, I didn't want a brown stone, I wanted a black one, or I wanted this artwork, or I wanted it to look like a tractor or something like that, or nowadays, well, I didn't want to be buried, I wanted to be cremated. And so now we have a whole line of selection of cremation memorials and things like that. So yeah, it's really helped us as an industry evolve. I think it's helped families because now as they go through that process, when somebody does pass away or even just as they age, you can have those conversations like, how are we going to handle the finances after mom and dad are gone? What do we do with things? What kind of casket do they want at their funeral? What kind of stone do we need out there? All that kind of stuff. So, and those conversations, while sometimes they're a little awkward and difficult to start at first, once you get into them, they're really rewarding, and you relive family memories and good times and all that kind of stuff. And so, so they're happy conversations in the end.
Yeah, I think you're right. Also, folks out there, I would imagine a number of the folks that are thinking about this maybe on fixed incomes, Social Security, that sort of thing, and so they could kind of work that into the budget.
Yeah, exactly. So, we do see that, and I kind of giggle. Usually, I know in town when somebody's getting pretty close to retirement, because they come in and they figure out how much their monument's going to cost or what they want to do, and I say that, and it might be 2 years before they're doing it, and sometimes it's like, well, we're doing it in 2 months, but they want to come in and make sure they have those expenses covered, so they do that. The other thing it allows is if somebody does want something, and there's sometimes we want more than what we have money for right now. That allows us to work with them and say, okay, hey, let's set up a payment plan and do that. And, maybe it's a 2-year or 3-year deal, and we kind of figure out what works for their budget, and they can come in and pay every month and do that. And then that way they get the memorial that they want. But everything's taken care of again before they would need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just a peace of mind, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can save a little money right now.
Yeah. And, and that's really important. Just like everything else in this world, the prices aren't going down. Our industry probably in the last 2 years has had the largest increases that they've had over any other period. So like my output costs, or input costs, just 2 years ago went up 29%. So all my supplies, my granite, everything. Last year, it was probably closer to 40%. And so just with shipping, labor prices, things like that, supply chain, all those things have gone up. We are starting to see some of the supply chain correct itself. So our northern quarries, so if you like the mahogany that comes out of South Dakota, the Morning Rose, which comes out of Canada, those types of things have kind of caught up with COVID and adjusted their production schedules and things like that. They've done real good. Even our foreign stuff, so the things that come in from India, China, Africa, Norway, they've been able to adjust pretty well, and so those timelines have sped up. We have a few stragglers. Our Georgia suppliers, for whatever reason, have really, really struggled. They're still at a 10, 11-month issue with them, and so while I'm going to say 80%, 85% of the supply chain's caught up with trying to figure out how to manufacture for this higher demand, there's still a few delays on it, but with that comes price increases because they've added the extra labor. They're working the overtime. International freight rates have gone down, but then when you get to the United States and you have to find a truck in short supply, the railroad is tight. We had stuff that came in, and I had a family I was working with. It sat in customs for almost 2 months before they released it, and then it sat on a rail car for 45 days before they ever sent it across country. So it's just really tight getting through the system on that. So right now, but it is improving. But all those things, like I said, when you get to them and you hit those, they just add to the costs.
Yeah, kind of one of those out of control, out of your hands deals that you have to adjust to.
Yep. So during our sale, we're still going to try to run off our 2022 prices. Excuse me here. Got to hit the cough button on your mic.
So. I don't have one on that.
So we're still holding 2022 prices, but here in March we will have to go up and hit the 2023 and try to capture those costs as they come through. So that's another good thing about right now. So if folks are out there listening, they've been thinking about it, putting it off, or they've been in 2 or 3 times and seen us. The next 60 days will be pretty important.
Chris, would you talk about your staff a little bit, your crews, just having been in your business recently? I walked out the door going, I really liked the way I was treated when I was there, and you didn't happen to be there, so
right.
They took care of everything, and I would imagine you're pretty happy with your crew.
I have a fabulous staff, and and I think everybody in town always talks about how they appreciate their employees, and you've done the same. That's what makes your organization go. And we've been very fortunate. We lost some longtime employees here in the last 5 years that had been with my dad and stayed on with me for 15 years, and so we've had to bring in some new people. But we still have folks like Pam Quant that's out there. She's been with us between 18 and 20 years. We got Abby Hilkemeyer in there, Laura Huffman, Jamie Walters, all in the front office. They are exceptional for handling phone calls and kind of greeting everybody face to face. Mark Walters comes out from the back, helps with sales, also kind of manages production. Cass Cook has been a designer with us for a little over 10 years now. We've got Carrie Chambers, who came up from Texas. Her dad, ironically, had come in the springs and helped us in our shop and our sandblasting, and she moved up here to kind of care for him when at the end of his life, and then stayed on and worked for us. The shop crew is great. We've got Jacob Haida, Andy Schmidt, George Rendon that have been back there that kind of take care of some of the preliminary cutting through the rubber. Lorinda Klebb is an amazing shape carver. She stands back there and uses sandblast material and pressure and hand sculpts roses and things like that for us. We've got Courtney Klebb that does hand etchings, and that girl is busy. I mean, she's continually stacked out 3 and 4 months on drawings. So, and that's, we're just known in Nebraska. And even, funny story, we had a family from North Dakota that called, and they're like, yep, we heard you guys are the ones to do this. We like this farm scene. We found it online. We want you to do it. And so here we are doing a scene for them. They were working for another monument company in North Dakota, and they came and fortunately ended up being a friend of mine. So we're like, yep, send it down here. We'll have Courtney do it, and then we'll get you taken care of. But Courtney does great things. And of course, our setting crew, we've got 6 guys out there that do a fabulous job. Shane Kelly's in there, Trent Keyser, Brian Keyser, Jim Hendrickson, Winston Williams, and I'm forgetting the last person. That's going to make me get in trouble here.
I was being very impressed that you were remembering all these.
Yeah, all my names here. So I'm just drawing a blank. So I got Brian, got Trent, got Winston, got Shane, got Jim. Dang it. I'm going to have to go back and buy whoever it is donuts because my mind's drawing a blank. And
I was going to say, if they're listening,
yeah,
they're
probably
screaming
are
the name at the radio right now.
So they are screaming, so they could text me and fill me in. Maybe they just got a text, so maybe that's who it is. Nope, it wasn't. That was my wife. So on that, and then of course we added Ben Carzales here just in the last few months, and he's going to come in and help manage some folks and some supply chain stuff for us.
I don't know how you remember all the names that you did. That's a crew. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, we've got 19 here just in Broken Bow that take care of things, and then we've got actually 46 company wide. So we've grown, and I think back to when I came in, we had 11 here in Broken Bow, and I think we were at 26 company wide. So we've added a lot of staff in the last 17 years and done that, and most of it's come in the last 6 years. So,
and we've talked about it before, the technology available to those great artists and the people, the hands-on that they can use to make those scenes that you're talking about, and well, I guess somebody comes up with a dream or an idea, you guys pursue it and see if you can put it on stone, right?
We do. The last name popped into my head, Tony Cook. I don't know why I forgot that. We've got a couple husband and wife teams in there, so Cass Cook and Tony Cook, and then Jamie and Mark, so that works for us. But yeah, we do. We try to capture just what you were saying there with whatever you fancy and dream up, and sometimes that's as simple as art. Sometimes we have to go outside and get a little creative with it. We are fortunate. We are a fairly large monument company and fairly well connected, and so we can do things. And we had a gal that had lost her husband in a fire. He was a firefighter, died in the line of duty, and she came in. She had sketched this beautiful stone. She'd gone online and looked and found things and kind of drew her own creation. And then she knew she wanted some bronze with it, and so by the time we're finished with this, we're going to have this nice stone, and we're going to have a fireman's coat and hat and boots done in bronze. That'll be part of this memorial.
Oh, wow.
And so that'll look great. And so, yeah, really, whatever you want, we can figure out a way to make it happen. And sometimes it's something simple. We had a gal one time that came in, and she's like, I just want something small and simple. She'd lost a daughter, and she just simply wanted the daughter's name on the stone. She didn't want any dates or anything like that. And so in this case, I kind of had a stone that had a corner kind of broken off of it. And so we just put this girl's name. It was 3 letters, Ava, and we just raised them up, and we ground everything down around behind it and kind of made it look like a stone with just her name, like almost like a boulder with her name coming up out of it. So, but
Beautiful.
that was simple and easy to do and really budget friendly. And so, so we can really do all kinds of things.
Well, now's the time before March to get in there and save yourself a little money, and most importantly, get that little poke in the back to get you going, right?
Yep. And if, it is a little icy, a little snowy out there, so if you are listening, you can always go to our website, so you can find us several different ways. You can look up palmermonument.com, or our kind of overhead name or overall name is themonumentpeople.com, where we have so many locations on that. But you can go there, look at things that we've done in the past. You can kind of see what's in most of our showrooms if you go to the locations. That page isn't 100% updated because things come and go. But at least you could get a start. You can pick up the telephone and we can go on the other end with you and say, yep, this is a good companion memorial, kind of go over prices, things like that, and help you get on your way as well.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in. Before we let you go, and I think we always enjoy, I don't know whether people really, I don't know. I like it when you come in and talk about the art and the monuments and the peace that gives people. And as you say, it actually ends up being a wonderful family memory event.
Right.
So come back anytime.
Okay.
The other part is I heard a rumor yesterday. As a matter of fact, it wasn't really a rumor. Keith Ellis was in. And he told us, I think, that you'll be heading up that's the foundation, or not foundation,
the economic development,
because you're off the foundation.
Yep. So my 9 years at the Custer County Foundation came up, so I had to step away from that, which everybody knows. I think that's an amazing organization. That was wonderful. That was one of the most fun boards I was ever a part of, and I look forward to seeing what they do going forward. I think when I came on, they had about $3 million in assets, and now it's a little over $7 million. I remember that first gala, we were all excited, and Lisa Bell, came in and we'd made about $50,000 on it, and they'd been doing the gala for a while, so we were excited and all celebrating and high five. And last year they did $171,000, so that's just amazing money that goes back in the community. So that's great. But yes, I am on economic development now. Last year I served as the chair for that, and so that's a 2-year term. So I'll go into year 2 on it, and we're working on some great things. That's another really fun organization with it. It doesn't always get all the headlines. It's a lot of behind the scenes work, which is kind of how I like to operate as well. You're kind of working on things. We get a lot of hits and a lot of good things that happen, and we get a lot of inquiries of things that never come to fruition. So I don't know how Keith does it all the time, because man, you put a lot of time and energy into a project, and then all of a sudden maybe it's a company looking to relocate, and they're like, yeah, we chose such and such Minnesota instead. And so the community never hears about all those things unless somebody does relocate here or do things. But, we're doing amazing things with housing. I think by the end of the year, we'll have 35 lots shovel ready to go to build on. We've got about $1.2 million in loan funds out there. So hopefully a developer can come in, borrow that at low interest, and, crank out 10 houses at a time or whatever to get, we need housing here in Broken Bow, Custer County. We do have a house that we're building right now in Callaway, so that's great. The real exciting thing is that we're working on, and we're getting real close, and you'll see some more news and information come out of, though, is the Child Care and Wellness Center here in town. And so we are working. There's a group of, I don't even know how many are on that, maybe 15 of us that have been meeting at about every other week to try to get through things, to get through design. People with the hospital, the city, economic development, the C4K group, which is child care group here in town. And so, we're going to have a chance here to kind of promote the chance to build and have a great facility that will give an opportunity for up to 130 daycare slots once it's complete, child care slots. Of course, have the wellness center new and improved with basketball courts, racquetball courts, all the things that, kind of like a YMCA, a little scaled down here in the community. But we just did the business plan on that on Friday. And after seeing those numbers, I mean, now I'm really excited because it's like, okay, this thing will work. You know, you're always concerned you're going to build this, and then you live in a smaller community, so does it cash flow? You know, are you going to have to be cranking money into it all the time? And childcare is expensive. And so it usually runs in a big center like that at a deficit or close to break even. And so you're always looking for ways to supplement that. And then you get to the wellness side, and the wellness side has enough that it's going to carry that, plus give you room for growth in the future. And so we actually have a meeting on Thursday, so we'll take that information back to the group. And then I think we'll kind of get everything finalized. And yeah, here in the next, I'm going to say 2 weeks, we'll start going out and trying to figure out how we can raise money for all this and get it built. So it's really excited about that, and that'll be a great thing for the community.
Yeah, well, we appreciate the time. You mentioned several meetings there, and I know that's not all of them.
Right.
And that's, I think sometimes, even I used to say with the county supervisors, a lot of people would say, well, you know, they meet a couple times a month, you know, what's the big deal? Well, they have subcommittees, and they have all these other meetings that nobody ever knows about.
Right.
And I think that's what you're talking about here, all the different committees through the Custer County Economic Group that are working all the time. And it is a little tough sometimes because you don't always hit a base hit even, let alone a home run. And
Right.
I think that's where Keith Ellis comes in because he's been in this arena for a long time. He understands that.
He has. And again, I said he does a fantastic job. And then we were able this year to grow that economic development. We added Scotty Ross
Right.
to the team here. So she's going to be a housing and grant administrator. So that's really going to focus helping us, you know, get that housing off the ground. And for those in the community that know Scotty, you know, she's was at Bruning Bank for a while and was John Sennett's office. And so she's great, you know, and great with people. I was in a meeting with her just a couple weeks ago, and we were going through some things, and she just kind of took it over, and I just kind of sat back and was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So now we have two people that are very skilled, very knowledgeable, very passionate about economic development, but not only economic development, but Custer County. And so that office is going to grow and do great things here in the next few years.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when I remember when you were just a little guy and you were hanging out.
Causing havoc at your house?
Yeah, at the house, or we'd send all over to your place.
Yeah.
And you grew up, you left, you come back, and this is the contributions we get when that happens. And that's what the whole idea is, right?
Yeah, you know, and that is. And I encourage kids out there listening, you know, we have great organizations here in town. You know, whether it be in economic development or the Custer County Foundation that want to support you, they want to see this community grow. And then, man, I mean, just the job opportunities that are here in town. And you know, that's something the economic development's working on, is getting that back into not only the schools to tell kids what careers are here in Custer County, but then rolling it out to the parents, because I think that's the hardest part is, you know, I sit here and I'm like, I don't know what my kids are doing. I don't know what they want to be, and I don't know if they can work here. But if all of a sudden you have a list of, here's 400 jobs that are available in Custer County, you know, this is what they pay, these are good livings, you're in a good community, that'll be awesome. So just that outreach there will be great as well. And yeah, if you're skipping school right now or listening to things, you know, really consider Custer County to be your home. You know, this is a great place, whether it's Broken Bow, Callaway, Arnold, wherever. Yeah. You're never going to get support like you do in your hometown.
Yeah, well said. Really enjoy having you in. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
And don't forget about that sale at Palmer Monument. That lasts how long?
So we'll have that here in January and February. So we'll wrap that up at the end of February. And yeah, like I said, just either stop on down to the store. We're right across from the post office there. Again, if you're a little worried about the weather, and I know tomorrow's supposed to be a little more weather, give us a call. Mark, myself, Abby, whoever grabs the phone is get you the right person, and we can certainly start the process.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
We'll take a time out with these words on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
The Sandhills Journey National Scenic Byway Annual Conference to be held Saturday, January 21st at the One Box Convention Center. 17 vendors will showcase their goods and unique designs from 1 to 5. Featured speakers are from the Nebraska National Forest and Nebraska Tourism. The annual awards banquet begins at 6 p.m. RSVP to 308-430-0786 by January 16th. The public is welcome. The Sandhills
Heroes Journey National Scenic Byway Conference is Saturday, January 21st at the One Box.
Nebraskans are passionate sports fans, no matter what level of play we're talking about. Geared for Sports Knows